I've got nothing against drag queens, you know, if grown adults enjoy being entertained by drag queens, if blokes want to dress up as these kind of caricatural women, yeah, fine, you know, knock yourself out. But we got this kind of growing obsession with drag queens. The BBC has got this sort of disturbing obsession with them. You know, you get them in the soap opera, you know, in the EastEnders and things like this. It's like, come on, you know, whole series, you know, the RuPaul's Drag Race and all this sort of. It's like, yeah, come on, there are other people on the face of the earth who aren't drag queens. Just a thought. We had drag queen story time. Remember that, where drag queens used to go and tell stories to young kids, school kids. It's like, why? You know, leave them alone. Anyway, this one defies belief. There is a Christmas theatre show for children, for young children coming up, to be hosted or starring a drag queen called Tania LeCoq. That's C-O-Q, I should tell you. There, you're looking at it now. Now, this seems inappropriate to me for kids. The age guidance is 0 to 5. So 5-year-old kids, 4-year-old kids. This Tania LeCoq entertaining. This is, I think it's grotesque. I really, really do. Parents, of course, are calling for it to be banned. It's on the Richmond Theatre on December the 19th. Let's talk to the director of the Women's Rights Network, Claire Loneragan. Welcome to the show, Claire. Do you share my disgust at this show?
I share the disgust at it being presented to 0 to 5-year-olds.
That's my point. I don't care about drag queens, but for children, called Tania LeCoq?
Quite, and those names aren't, you know, they're not a coincidence. The names are chosen deliberately to be provocative, which is fine for an adult audience.
That's what I just said.
You know?
Yeah.
But for small children, no, it's completely inappropriate.
And it's part of a syndrome. I mean, thank God, in my view, the drag queen story time saga has ground to a halt. But for a couple of years, there are all these drag queens that schools used to hire and libraries used to hire to bring your children, and these drag queens will tell them stories. And I used to think, why? Why do these drag queens want to tell stories to little children? Why does Tania LeCoq want to entertain little children? You know, you don't get plumbers or coppers saying, I want to tell stories to little children. You don't get plumbers saying, I want to do a stage show for little children. Why do you think drag queens are so obsessed with getting in touch and either telling stories or entertaining young children? What is that about?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's exactly the right question. What they're doing is they're normalising something that is not normal for our culture. It is not normal for our culture to have men who are normally adult entertainers dressed like some weird
caricature of a woman, isn't it? Yeah.
Well, it's even worse than that. It's some sort of weird cross between, you know, a pornified Santa Claus and Snow White's wicked stepmother.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, it's more terrifying than merry, to be frank. Yeah. When you're 5 or under, until quite a bit older than that, actually, everything is new and wonderful and different. All of our normal cultural symbols, from scarecrows to Santa Claus and everything in between, is wonderful and different. And if you're presented with something like this, which, as I say, is a pornified version of who knows what, that is every bit as you know, wonderful and different as Father Christmas.
The children they'll be intrigued by it. And when you say it's a pornified version of what, I'll tell you what it's a pornified version of. It's the Christmas story. This is called the Drag Tales Christmas Edition. Drag Tales is the name of it. The Turning Point organisation, you know, the British arm of Charlie Kirk's set up. They said Drag Tale is a horrific perversion of the Christmas period, which should be about protecting children's innocence, not exposing them to horrifically inappropriate drag queen performances. So, as you and I agree, Claire, you know, I've been to a few drag queen shows myself. Very funny they can be, but for adults. What on earth are the theatre thinking of? This is how the theatre have built it. I mean, this is adults. This is how they build it. Festive magic with Drag Tales Christmas edition, starring the spectacular Tania LeCoq. And then they say it's for children from the age of 0 to 5, 0 to 5. I mean, what are they thinking? What are they thinking?
Well, it's pushing queer theory onto the younger generation, isn't it? If you can normalise this at a very, very young age, then when children come across porn and it can be quite bad out there, they won't see that it isn't normal what they're being shown.
Yeah.
And therefore they won't be able to tell the difference between something that they should treat carefully and with detachment versus something that's completely safe. So all the safeguarding gets erased, all the normal cultural boundaries get erased, and the idea of what is normal, what's culturally appropriate, particularly for that age group, is just destroyed.
I'll tell you what I think, Claire. I think these drag queens are interested in sexualizing these young children, and that should be banned. I mean, I'm not a banner. I don't like banning things, but sexualizing young children should be banned. It should be against the law. Isn't that a thought?
Well, I don't know how you would make it against the law, but I certainly think that we should bring back much better safeguarding. We shouldn't be putting very young children anywhere near someone whose day job is actually a night job in, essentially adult entertainment. It's just breaks down and blurs those boundaries between children and adults, and there's only one group of people who are interested in doing that.
Yeah, and it's all wrong. Listen, Claire, let's hope they succeed in getting this banned, this show. December the 19th, cancel it, Richmond Theatre. See sense, see the light. Don't let this show go on. Claire, thank you so much for your time. Good to talk to you. Claire Loneragan there, Director of the Women's Rights Network. Let me know what you think.